Hello, my friends. In this video on M&M model railways, I'm going to be adding the highlights to the canyon wall. In the last step, we actually painted the base coat on the layout on the back wall. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding five more colors. I actually added the black spray coat off camera, and I did highlight on the top part and some other areas, so I get the idea of what I was after. So, my friends, let's go out and add the highlights to the face of this canyon wall. And let's go to my living room right now and let's get started. Well, as you can tell, I have experience on painting a mural, and as you can tell, that mural wraps around, and hello, there I am. But I just wanted to show you that I did most of this painting. My wife helped with a few touch-ups. So let's go and take a stroll out here. You can see a little bit more of my painting right there in the darkness. I guess you can't really see a lot there, but see a little bit. Let's head out here and set up. It is December 6th today, and so that's why we have a lot of our Christmas stuff up. We are getting ready for Christmas, and we have cats. You might hear them a little bit, but here's what I'm working on. And I did a little bit of highlights on the top of this area. You can see the highlights on the top, but I didn't do any highlights on this front here. So I'm hoping to do that right now. Let's turn up the brightness a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is set you guys here in the corner. And I'm going to leave the track on my layout today, because that helps us to add to the color. So let me get prepared here and I'll be right back. So basically what I'm using here is a brush that I actually rounded the top to do more of a rounded edge. So I need that rounded edge to be able to get into those highlighted areas. I'm going to be putting actually four different colors of paint in my paint tray here. So the first thing that we're going to use is we're going to use some country tan. Then we're going to use some country gray. Then we're going to be using some cinnamon color. That's a cinnamon color that I put in the stream, but we're going to reflect some of that off of the back wall. I used off the back here, I used that brown color to represent valleys coming in there. So we're going to try to do the same thing. And then in just some really highlighted areas, we're going to use some crimson red. And you can tell where I've used some of that at. I've used some of that over here to kind of represent the sun shining on there. And I've used some crimson up here and right here, and just a little dash over here in this area. So basically I'm going to leave the track on there because that's showing my display of what I'm looking at. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my first color of the country tan. We're going to put a little bit of that on the paint tray. I'll show you what I do basically to get it to go. So I want to do kind of like a dry brush application. So you can see on camera that I've actually poured some of that paint in my my container. So what I'm going to do, my friends, is I'm going to take my little brush, and instead of using the full wetness of that, I'm actually just going to wipe it so most of it comes off. So what I'm going to do is basically hit the highlights of the surface areas. I don't want to get it into the creases there. Hopefully you can see that pretty good. Got all the lights on. You just want to touch your surface areas. Take your paint and take most of it off as you apply it. Like I said, I already did the tops and most of the ridge behind one of the rail goods. So basically I am just touching the surface of the rock formation. Just enough to put them highlights over it. Again, just make sure you're wiping your paintbrush off. Country 10. See how it brings the shadow out on that tan color? That's all I want to do. Basically touch the base of it. Make it look like the, oh, too dark there. Or got too dark on that one area right there. Let's move you a little bit so you can see more of what I'm doing here. You see where I got that a little bit too dark? So basically, I'm going to have to highlight some of that to get that out of there. Try to pull some of that away from that area. That actually kind of gives it a nice look, but not too sure I like that much on my brush. So I'm going to take a little bit of my Indian sun, and I'm going to dip just a little bit of color. Try to break that up a little bit if you can. We'll water it down, as you know, in the last step I did. So I'll let that dry a little bit, and then we'll try to tone that down just a little. I'll use my napkin here to get some of that orange color off. When that dries, it should be a little bit better. So now I'm going to apply some of that in this rock formation. I'm going to move you over here so you can see. So we got walls that are actually starting right over here, so I just want to take and hit the top of it. Again, just apply it and brush it off your brush. You'll get too much like you see me do over there. I'm not going to worry too much about this because when we add on, I'm going to cut most of this area out of here. Because if not, it's going to go level and it's going to go down, and then it's got to come right back up again. We might do that and just take this area out so we don't have to interfere with a lot of that, but I'm wanting to put a tunnel back in there. I'll show you that in another video down the road. As you can see, I'm just touching the surface of the rocks like I originally said. Down here on the bottom we'll have an outcropping ledge that will go into the bottom area of this. I'll show you that also in another video. If you're interested, please subscribe to this channel so you won't miss a video at all. That subscription helps you to get a notification every time a video is posted. As you know, on this channel, we do unboxing surprise reveals of stuff that I've ordered in the mail, or something that maybe somebody has sent me as a gift. We'll also do those. But you get the idea that we just want to share it with all of you guys. Table out of my way. A little bit more of that color, so you can tell I'm actually working over here. Let me move these next set of colors out of the way here. So again, put it on heavy. Try to wipe it off and then just get it on the tips. Then over here on this side, we've got a little back of a heel. So I'm just going to touch that area there as well. You'll see this all being blended together soon. So the banks of my river, I'm also going to do the same thing. Just in a few highlighted areas. So it looks like there's a hilly ridge or something coming down at the end of this valley. And if you get too much on there, you can always take your paper towel and you can rub some of that off, and then it'll help you to not have such bad discoloration on there. You do this takes a lot of work, a lot of steps to apply, make the banks look rough. A little bit more of that color down here. So all I want to do is just hit the highlights with that gray. Looks like I got it pretty good. I want to put some of this over that area that I got a little bit too much orange on, but that's okay. All right, my friends, let's take a little pause and then let's mix up another color of the light country gray, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. Let's add some country tan into my paint tray. I'm just going to put it right next to the one I just did. We're going to do completely something different with this one. Now you'll know that we went one direction back and forth with that tan. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start moving you guys back over here a little bit. So basically this is a tan, kind of like those tan lines that represent the inside valley. Let me turn you so you know where I'm working at. This little area right here. That's some cutbacks into the canyon there, as you can see. So now I'm going to be doing the same thing here to highlight that line. So basically you want to go through and find your center line crack. So right there, in the center line, maybe there's a little bit up there. So the other ones I went just on the surface. Now we're trying to push into that ridge inside there. Represents different layers of the canyon. Oh, there's a ridge right here. I'm going to get a different brush so I can get into them cracks a little bit tighter. Hold on. Okay, picked up a bit smaller, narrow brush, a flat blade, because I want to put that all the way into that crack. The only way I have to do that is with a smaller brush. Working on this area over here just a little bit. Make that more defined through there. So what I'm trying to do is match the same lines that I put in that back canyon wall. This canyon wall will increase in its size when I add to the layout. So it gives you an idea of what I'm doing there. More of a revealing gray. Not to wipe that off so much. Really color the inside of that line. And I think we got one right here we talked about. This one comes around to the side, so we got to get this side too. And there's a crease that comes up over and down. So, more the gray, more the gray. This line comes all the way over to here. More of a deep inside there paint. May not be needed, but if you take your time, you will have a pretty unique painting. You took a long time to paint, but the rewards will be worth it in the long run, trust me. I'm getting it inside that line that I carved in there earlier. Just pushing this little brush all the way into the paint. As you can tell, that really is starting to take shape. I have to add some more of this color in here. Look close, you can still see the the black undercolors that I sprayed on there. That actually makes a good second base color. Keep going with this line. Representing the water that formed this canyon ledge many, many years ago. If you look at the Grand Canyon pictures, you see that there's gray lines going through all of that. Just push the paint in there to try to cover up the inside areas. It makes it look more like a canyon ridge. Let me sit you guys back over here. I got to do that lower line of gray in there yet. So you can kind of see where I'm aiming at here. So now I got that top done. I want to come along through here where we start moving into this line. Maybe we won't have to cut this part out. We'll just cut this part up here when we add on. We're trying to find that water ridge line. Let's just put a gray shadow in there. We got 2 more colors of paint we got to put on yet. I'll show you what we'll do with that. That really adds I believe, character to the layout. Because now we're highlighting those water lines we originally put in there. You don't have to make it perfect, but just try to cover up most of it. Now let's trade angles again, because I gotta be where you guys are. There we go. Finish this line here. Here. Push it in there as best as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. We don't live in a perfect world. As we think we should, but we don't. A little bit more so I can see another one of those lines coming through here. Ridge line. Then we're going to do an outcropping of rock on the bottom of the stream. We'll probably be doing that probably next. As soon as I figure out how to get the rock mold. Like I said, those rocks will come over the top of that. Bit of canyon right here, so let's put some color in there. Now, friends, I'm going to mix up another color, and we're going to use brown. I'm going to go with this cinnamon color here. It's on the back. I'm going to put that right there. Now, I think the best course of action when we look at this is to look at this from a distance. So if you come back here, we want to follow those fault lines or the shadow lines from the back area that we did. So you can see right in this area we have a brown line and a brown line and a brown line. That represents valleys. You can see it right there too. Then we have a little bit of a brown touching to the top bases of that to indicate that there's shadows there. So let's try to duplicate that brown with another color. And we're only going to put that brown where it's going to reveal the valleys. We don't want to put that brown everywhere. So let's say there's a valley coming through here. Let's just put a brown streak coming across there like that. Another place that we would see that at is, let me turn you guys a little bit. This little ridge coming down here in the back. needs to have some brown reveal on there. Let's also do a brown touching coming down this area here. Gives that little bit of a shadow reveal. Okay, where else might I see brown ridge if I step back from it? I might see some brown that lives on this area right here, because it's a little darker with the shadow of the sun. And I'd say there's a little darker ridge right here and back over on this side because it's behind an area of hill. Like I said, I'm going to be taking that out. Okay, so if I look in behind where the sun's going to be hitting, if the sun is facing directly from you folks, I'm going to see some brown on this side of this ridge right up in here. Okay, let's set you guys a little bit straighter out here so you can see kind of what I'm seeing. So you can see that I'm adding the brown to it to try to bring it down and blend it in from the back wall here. So let's say with our collar that we can bring this angle here down and show that there's a little bit of a rock outcropping right there. See how that looks? It just brings it in and ties it in. It's a little bit more of this brown, and it's going to make this white in here. The indication that there's a darker valley coming through there. It gives it a bit of a ridgeline look. It's like a little bit of a valley that the sun might be hitting a little bit more on that area and shining up some different stuff in there. We can always go back into that country tan if we don't like it and just try to touch it up a little bit. Maybe a little bit of that tan. It looks like there's a kind of a different coloration of it. Now I'm seeing in my mind's eye, I'm also seeing some of this being brown right here. It's because it's catching my eye. Bring that down here at an angle just because it's kind of got a look to it that I like. So a little bit more of that brown. It's not a dark brown, it's kind of a subtle look as it comes down. And over here a little bit, there might be some brown. And then we got to look at it from this distance as well. Let me move you guys where I'm talking so you can see what I'm talking about. So when the people come into the house, I'm going to be looking at this angle. They might be seeing some of the brown that the wall is actually casting some shadows to make it look a little dark. You can kind of see those in this area. So you've got to look at it from multiple areas to make it look like it's got some shadows. And here's a little ridge that's sticking out, so I'm going to hit that backside with a little brown. Brown right there. And then this side over here has a little bit of a shadow effect to it, so it's need some brown on that face. Some canyon, deeper ridges here could have some brown in there. Just little subtle hints of brown that you can see there. So let me give you a tour of kind of what it looks like at a distance. Looks pretty cool. And then when you look at it this way, you can see that there's some structure going on there. All right, so I'm gonna put some highlight shadows in the back, because that bottom part of that ridge is kind of in shadow. So let's try to accent that shadow. I'm just putting a row of brown moving out in there. Basically, all I'm after is to represent some shadow coming down on that wall there. And being we got a little bit of a heat right in there, put that. Hey my friends, what do you think of that? Look, now it's starting to look pretty real. But my friends, we've got one more color. We have the crimson red. So I'm going to put that, just a little dab. It doesn't take much. So we're going to put a little dab right there. So as you can see, it's a little dab of crimson. That's all it takes. So what I'm going to do is just touch. See that crimson could look like it's got a distant colors there. And as you can tell, I just touched some back up in this area. You don't want to overkill it on that crimson. Just want a little highlights. Just make it look like it's picking up just a few hints of some crimson in there. Just a little few hints. We don't know why that it's there. We just know that it is. Let's just do. Why is there crimson red color in our red rock canyons? Like I said, all we're doing is just doing a little touch of hints of it on this area right here. On this. Visualizing some crimson red in there. And this whole face right here. And some red color. And maybe a little bit that is there, and there. Just some subtle areas. Try to do the face where you think the sun's getting a reflection of that crimson color. I'm seeing some areas where it's jumping out at me. Who knows why it's happening like that, but it just is. We never know why God creates the way He does. Let's do a little bit down over here. And just dust this a little bit. And let's do just a couple of hints. That's just some red rocks along this ridge here. little subtle hints. Show you what I'm doing, I guess. Can't see. Working on that riverbank there. Some subtle hints at the top ridge where it starts coming up to level ground. Kind of gives it the hint that there's something more to look at there. All right, my friends, let's do a little view of what that looks like. You can tell as you see the subtle river banks. That looks pretty good as it comes up. Right here, I'm going to add some more of this light colored lichen stuff. I'll cover up that ledge right there and bring this way. Then we'll put some dams in there to hold the water back over the waterfalls. Then we'll display all of that yet. You can see the head gate assembly down in there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Looks pretty cool. And that irrigation ditch feeds into this stream.